Hello guys, what is up? My name is Dylan. Welcome back to the Popcorn Podcast. This is episode number 11. Today I'm joined by a veteran of the pod and a lovely new guest. Guys, welcome back.
Thank you.
Shall we start with an intro from our new guest? Giselle,
yes,
take it away.
I'm Giselle. I don't know. I'm just here for the girlies, you know?
Right.
For Barbie.
And
I'm Mickey. I do film. I'm a writer director. I have a company called Look Aside Films.
yeah, that's to put it lightly. That's
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, a lot more goes into having a production company.
There we go. That deserves its own episode at some point, for sure. But of course, today, the main reason we're here, we've been gathered, summoned by myself, is to talk about none other than the latest summer blockbuster taking everyone by storm, and that is, of course, Barbie.
Yeah. I expected you to do it, but I had to.
Yes.
I need like at least 10 of those throughout the entire episode.
Like a little soundbite.
Yeah. Right. So, guys, I want to ask you, the first thing I actually want to ask you about this Barbie film. What were your expectations before going into the film? And, like, how excited were you for this film? Giselle, do you want to kick this one off since you're the new guest?
Yeah, I mean, I had no expectations whatsoever. I grew up loving the Barbie films. You know, the ones with Universal? I think they did a test animation or something.
Okay.
And then it went to phase 2 where Mattel started like producing all these films. I might be wrong. But the first, I guess, generation of Barbies, when there was like 12 dancing princesses, Princess and the Pauper, Rapunzel, Swan Lake.
Did you have Barbies when you were a kid?
I did, actually. I did cut off their hairs as well, but like, you know, who did it?
That's so accurate. Like Kate McKinnon.
Weird Barbie.
It was so relatable watching that film. But yeah, just like coming into Barbie, I expected something of that sort, but also because it was Greta Gerwig that was directing it, I really didn't know what she was going to pull out of her bag. So it was a really nice surprise for sure, watching Barbie.
Yeah. And yourself, Mickey?
Yeah, same. Like, I mean, I was super hyped to sign one of the best marketing campaigns I've ever
Definitely
seen. And obviously, there's Barbenheimer. That was a whole thing. But Barbie in itself, I was very, very excited for it. Yeah, I thought it'd be. I love, you know, I know it's existing IP, but it doesn't feel like an existing IP. I know it's.
It definitely doesn't now.
No, I know it's based off an existing like doll, but it felt very. You know, it almost feels like an indie that is studio produced. So it felt I was really looking forward to it. I love when like directors like Greta Gerwig, who came from, you know, the kind of writer-director small auteur world, they now like make these things and they make them the way they want to make them. So I was super hyped for it. And it's also like such a good night out. Like such a good vibe. Like
day out.
Yeah, it was like the best. Just, you know, it's like a full event film. It's not like I go to the movies a lot, and usually you go, you watch the film, you get out. But this is like, no, I'll make it a day. Like I'll watch it, I'll grab like snacks, and I'll do a whole day. I was hyped for it.
No, definitely, for sure. I think when the Barbie film was first announced, I like literally had no interest in it whatsoever. I thought that they were gonna just go for the easy route, make it a kids film, make it like some.
I remember people
film.
were making fun of it. People
exactly.
Were like, oh my god, Greta Gerwig is directing Barbie with Margot Robbie.
No, but that's
like,
interesting because when it was announced that Greta Gerwig was coming aboard, that's when I was like, this could actually be interesting because I actually really like Greta Gerwig as a filmmaker, as a storyteller. I've loved both Lady Bird and Little Women. I think she's like a real talent in Hollywood today. And I think it was such a smart move by Warner Bros. To employ her to take over.
Now she's doing Narnia.
Exactly, there you go. So we'll see what she does with that. Let's delve right into the discussion on the film. So in the colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbieland, Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives. However, when stereotypical Barbie, played by Margot Robbie, suffers a crisis and begins to have existential thoughts of death and depression, the pair embark on a journey to the real world where they learn of both the joys and perils amongst living with humans. So, straight out of the cinema, guys, what was your initial verdict on the film?
Well, I don't know. I think I speak for a lot of the girlies when I say when I came out of the cinema, I felt so seen. I felt like my life changed forever just because there was so much pink.
I'm going to try and find the actual message that Jazelle sent me after she saw Barbie.
What did I send you?
It was the funniest thing ever, but she sent me a message. I want to find it to like quote it exactly, but she literally goes like, "Girl, cinema is back." Like,
cinema is well and alive.
Best film. It goes, "I am a changed woman, bitch. This is cinema."
This is art. This is life. Well, she's one for the girlies. What can I say? You saw
it twice, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, when I asked you if you've seen Barbie, you're like, have I seen Barbie? I've seen it twice.
Like, are you serious? Are you joking right now?
Yeah, I loved it too. Yeah,
I know you loved it.
I loved it less. Like, I loved it a lot coming out of the cinema, but the more days that have passed, the more I've loved it. I think it's definitely like aged really well in my mind. I think it's like just such a awesome thing to happen to the industry as well, from like a grand perspective. As a film, I loved it. It was like a good vibe, and then the more I thought about it, I think it aged even better in my mind.
Yeah. And like it shows no signs of dying down anytime soon.
I don't remember the last time I saw a film in the cinema and my immediate thought was like, I'm genuinely planning. I usually see things in the cinema once, unlike you with Endgame 11 times. But I
don't know what you're talking about.
I usually see. I'm not kidding, by the way. I usually see things in the cinema only once. But this one, I'm like, I'm actually gonna probably go see it a second time, and I never do that. So I think that's that says a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna see it a second time. It's just such a lot of
comfort film.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like in years to come, it would be such a film where it's like, oh, I don't know what to watch. I feel kind of restless. What am I gonna put on? Barbie.
It's got such insane like rewatchability. If it was on Netflix, I'd watch it tomorrow. Again, you know what I mean? Like, it's got crazy rewatchability, I think.
Yeah, and this is the thing, because like I feel like the film, this is both a positive and negative. We'll get into like the mixed aspects in a bit, but I feel like every kind of person can take something away from the film. Yeah, which I think is fantastic. And I can't remember the last film I saw that had that sort of aspect to it. Yeah, as for myself, I had such a blast with the film. I saw it like in the afternoon with pink cocktails. I did the whole thing, went in pink and everything.
Did you dress up?
Yeah, of course.
What did you wear?
I mean, I wore like a pink t-shirt, shorts, and like a pink bomber jacket and whatnot.
It's so crazy. Yeah. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen so many people dressed for a film, and nobody ever said dress for this film. People just kind of decided
exactly.
to do it.
Like, we thought it was all funny when people started dressing in suits for, like, was it Minions or the Rise of Gru and stuff.
That was such a like tiny
exactly. And now this has just exploded. Like,
I would say like 50% of the people are dressed up. It's insane. Like, I was in Wales the other day, and I was like in this small town, like 2,000 people, and I see like 6 people getting to a car dressed in pink going to the big town to see Barbie, and I was like, how did the trend reach here?
It's crazy, because obviously on the day of Barbenheimer Day, it was like we were driving around and stuff, and we were in central London and and you could tell who had gone to the cinema, who was going to the cinema, because just by the way they were wearing pink. Oh, there's another pink. Like, I was thinking of doing like a tally of the amount of people I saw in pink, but then I just lost count at some point.
I think the cutest thing was the little girls who had Barbies to watch it. That was adorable. That's so cute. Even though I don't think it's like a kids film, I think it's like quite deep for a kids film. But yeah,
it's crazy because you did touch upon the marketing, which has been fantastic. But this is almost like marketing in of itself.
Yeah, like a really meta marketing strategy where it's just like really subtle rebranding, like being self-aware about the brand, and then having, the history of Barbie being played out in the movie, period, and public perception of it being incorporated in their critique of Barbieland, which I love, by the way. I freaking love Barbieland. I want to be in Barbieland forever.
Barbieland is how I imagine Giselle's like internal like mind castle, that like mind palace. That's how I imagine she like goes to sleep, and that's where she like.
I actually have something like that. It's called Jazzyland.
Exactly.
But
maybe we should all go to Jazzyland.
Barbie. No, I'm building Jazzyland.
Barbie's marketing budget is as much as the film's budget, which is insane. Like, their marketing budget is something like 150 million. Crazy. But yeah, I agree. I thought it was like, and what Mattel did was awesome. They were like very self-aware and self-critical, and that was quite impressive. I think
the thing is, I I'm not sure whether to talk about this now or when we get into it, but the whole thing with Mattel is obviously they are quite a controversial company.
Yeah.
Anyways, but in the film, like the fact that like they're acknowledging that.
Yeah.
Some people I've heard say, "Oh, I don't know what the hell they were doing by doing that," but it's such a massive win for them regardless.
100%,
like this film was always destined to make a shit ton of money.
Of course, it's Barbie. Like
exactly. So I feel like whatever strategy or whatever, however they played it, they were gonna end up the winners in the end.
I actually think there is a world in which a film like this bombs hard.
Really?
100%.
What do you mean?
I think it's like the perfect film as it is now. From a consumer perspective, it's good, it's fun, it's got the star cast, it's got like all the great marketing, it's about an existing IP, the toy, whatever. But if you just, again, like if you go back to the day that this film was announced, I remember reading like what people thought about it, and people were like, this sounds like the weirdest fucking thing. Like it's like, sorry, cursing. Can I curse in this? It sounds
too late now.
It sounds like the weirdest freaking thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like people were like, oh, it's like a film about Barbie. This is gonna be so dumb. I remember that, like when it was announced.
But this is the thing. Like I feel like when we started seeing glimpses of the film, like people started really getting hyped for it. And obviously, if the film is good, which I think all three of us do agree and think so, like that speaks for itself anyway. So like,
I think that first trailer was like when people were like, "Oh, this is gonna be sick."
Yeah. What were the best aspects of Barbie for you guys? Like, for me, I think like one of the best aspects. I didn't want to talk about him this early, but we might as well. Ryan Gosling as Ken. I think and I might be biased when I say this because Ryan Gosling is essentially my favorite actor. He's tied with Jake Gyllenhaal for me. I think he's a revelation in this film. He's hilarious.
He is. Yeah.
I think he's one of the most underrated comedic actors of this generation, just because like the roles he's usually going for, like Drive, Place Beyond the Pines, are very like, they're quite depressing and they're quite like he always plays these like loner characters who goes through a lot. But I don't know have you guys seen The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe?
Yes.
So funny.
Love that film. So and I know a lot of people haven't seen that, but if you want a demonstration of how genuinely hilarious Ryan Gosling is, please check out The Nice Guys. He is fantastic in this film. Like for me, I think he was the best part about this film.
No, I agree.
The scenes where he's in the real world and he's having the interactions with the guys and he's kind of going around and saying, "Hey, I want to be a doctor," and then he's like, "Yeah, you need a qualification for that, but I'm a man." Like it's hilarious. Like his comedic timing is fantastic. Even like during the dance that he does at the start, I want to learn that dance. The guys.
Hey guys, comment and like this if you want Dylan.
No.
Hey guys, I think that's content right there.
Love to see it.
If this video gets 50, no. What did you think of Ryan?
I thought it was amazing. Yeah, as you said, I thought like it's so funny. So like definitely the star in terms of unexpected. I think saying this, we shouldn't like also forget Margot Robbie.
Oh no, of course, yeah.
She is also incredible, and she is 100% the engine of the film. But he does like he does shine a lot. Like he's just so funny. I think she is. If you compare like the acting, she just has more of a meaty role. So she can do a lot more with that role. So she just shows a lot more range. But he is like hilarious. Yeah. He's got the like funny, hilarious.
Yeah, like comedic timing, and I guess just the subtle nuances of him being sarcastic or like playing off the satire in the script. I would say it's very similar to what he did in what's that film? Crazy Stupid Love? Oh my god,
love
so
Crazy
hilarious.
Crazy Stupid Love is the best romantic comedy.
I love it.
I know.
Love Crazy Stupid Love.
He's so
that's
sexy.
like a feel-good film.
Be better than The Gap.
Yeah.
Come on, Cal. That's getting us an episode at some point.
That's such a good romantic film, though.
Yeah, but no, Margot Robbie can't be understated. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like also like I feel like it'd be so difficult to play like a doll-like figure and have audiences like not be disconnected, but she finds like a really nice balance, especially when she starts going into the real world and you can like she starts really sort of pouring out her humanity in her performance.
100%.
It's like really good. Like she's like, a lot of people just think, oh, Margot Robbie, like beautiful actress, this and that, but she can act.
People forget that Margot Robbie is, in my opinion, one of the best actresses and actors in Hollywood right now.
Yeah,
she is
definitely
incredible. Like, if you see her range of roles in the last like 7-8 years. It's insane. Even in the last couple of years, like she did Babylon, which is an insane performance. We spoke about it already, but Babylon is an insane performance. Wolf of Wall Street, I, Tonya, she's got like so many insane roles. She is a proper good actor
and her
and
range
producer.
Of skills as well. Like Jesus Christ, trapeze school. I think she went to trapeze school. She did all these stunts herself in Suicide Squad. Like, oh my God, the ice skating in I, Tonya. I don't know how she did it.
What do you think is Margot Robbie's best performance?
So best performance or favorite performance?
Best performance. I know what your favorite performance is. I know what you're gonna say.
I don't know what you're talking
about. You're gonna say the Duchess.
Shut up. Man. Why are you putting words in my mouth? I didn't say anything.
But wouldn't you though? Yeah.
I love Wolf of Wall Street, man.
I love Wolf of Wall Street. Who flew in here?
At 3 a.m. and woke Skylar up. No, anyways. Best performance. Maybe I, Tonya, just because that's at least the most awardsy performance, I'd say. She's great in everything, really.
She is, yeah.
She's great as I love her as Harley Quinn. Like she's
I do too.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
I think her best one is I, Tonya because of the range. Yeah. But I think
the whole mirror scene.
I would say Babylon is an incredible performance, but because of how is it Lottie, her character's name?
Nelly.
Why did I say Lottie?
Nelly,
because of Nelly.
He said Lottie.
Sorry?
He said Lottie.
Yeah, but
who the fuck is Lottie?
But because of Lottie's like
Nelly, man, come on, one job.
Because Nelly's like quite like intense in a similar-ish like. Her energy levels are always at one similar level. The performance is amazing, but I, Tonya goes through like the whole fucking journey of every human emotion possible. And you know, Lottie is also a great one.
She needs to now do a character called Lottie just for the sake of this.
In my films, one day.
Yeah, maybe. Another thing I really loved about this film was just the aesthetic and the visuals of it, the costume and the production design.
I agree.
Fantastic. Yeah, sure, they're modeling a lot of it from like previous Barbie dollhouses and whatever, but like the whole production design by it is phenomenal. It clearly has obviously this whole Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland type sort of sensibility to it, and like that combined with Rodrigo Prieto's cinematography, who by the way has shot Barbie and Killers of the Flower Moon this year. The range of that, it's crazy. I think that just makes for like a visual experience that for me, it was just dazzling.
He was busy.
Wow. Scorsese and Greta Gerwig.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good year.
Yeah. He's got like, I mean, I'd be surprised if he wasn't nominated for at least one of these. Because Killers of the Flower Moon looks incredible as well.
But I think like production design, costumes, original song are like locks for.
Are you talking about the Billie Eilish or are we talking about
I think the song that's gonna get nominated will be the Billie Eilish song. I think I'm Just Ken should be nominated.
I'm Just Ken. Oh man.
But it's a fantastic like collaboration on every level of creative fields, I think.
Yeah. Any other significant merits you guys think that the film really has championed?
Ooh.
I think just in general, the way that they built the story was... I think the script doesn't get enough love because it's the sort of thing that if you're given the task of like write a film about Barbie, that's kind of an impossible thing a mountain to climb. And I wouldn't even think to go the route that they did, but what they did is brilliant, and I really love that it all connects and it makes sense, and this concept of like an idea versus reality and how these things are all interconnected, and it's a incredible like take on feminism and for the girlies, and I think the way that they did it was really smart with the whole meta thing of like just accept it, you know. Because I, as a person, I took the first like 40 minutes. I was like, so what is Barbieland a metaphor for? Like, how do ideas spread from our consciousness to... And then Will Ferrell himself, he was like, just go with it. Yeah. Just accept. Barbieland, it just exists. And I was like, it's the sort of film that is you just kind of meant to like believe in. It's not it's a different world or whatever. You know?
Yeah, no, sort of establishes rules, breaks them, but it can kind of get away with that. I'm going to touch on this on the mixed aspects, but I know exactly what you're saying. It's kind of like, because it has this meta commentary. Like one of my favorite things about this film was Helen Mirren as the narrator.
I was just about to say Helen Mirren.
I wish we had more. I wish we had more of her though. But like, I think we were laughing so much at, like, do you remember when Margot Robbie's going through like this crisis? Yeah. I said, "Oh my god, I don't feel pretty," and every single person in the audience is thinking the exact same thing. And then she comes in and she goes, "Note to the filmmakers: Margot Robbie is the wrong."
That was the hardest laugh. In my cinema.
That was fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
But I think I read like some like just not a criticism, but just the thought that like some people thought that the real world wasn't real, like the execs were too cartoony. And I was like, bro, it's a film where Barbieland exists and you go through these like mountains. Like what the fuck are you talking? Like it's not meant to be like this.
It's
drama
exaggerated for sure.
It's stylistic. It's just like what the film is. Just go with it. It's fun, you know. It's not everything is supposed to be a true representation of our society. Like it can be stylized.
Absolutely.
And I love how it kind of mirrored Barbie Life in the Dream House. You know, the series on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
I think you're a hardcore Barbie.
Yeah, you started talking about all these different iterations of Barbie. I was like, yeah, sure. No, but that's good though. Like, no, continue though. What were you saying? Life in the Dream House.
Yeah, so Barbie Life in the Dream House, they have all these different, you know how in the film Barbie kind of steps out of the shower and like everything's perfect, you know, she doesn't have to do anything for her. So in Life in the Dream House, it's almost exactly like this, where for example, if you jump from the pool, it's basically a pool of plastic, like you land flat on that shit. So I don't know, I just love that they kind of incorporated all these elements from, I don't know if they actually did that, but Barbie Life in the Dream House, that was what clicked immediately. And I was like, I'm a huge fan. I need to watch this. I've watched this. And obviously all the plastic horses as well. That was so fucking hilarious.
Funny. Yeah.
That was so funny.
I've seen, because there's like, I saw like somewhere, there's like a shit ton of Easter eggs in the film for like, because I know like I can't really get Barbie Easter eggs. I'm not really the target demographic yet, but I know that there would have been like so many people watching the film like, oh my god, I remember having this as a kid or this as a kid, and it's like there's a nice level of nostalgia.
I think I underestimated how big Barbie is as a toy because like again, I'm not the demographic, and in Bulgaria I guess it wasn't like this massive thing that every girl had, but then like when I started speaking to people, like everybody was like, oh my god, I used to have this dream house, this Barbie, this, that, and I was like, oh okay, because like I guess it was massive, you know. Yeah.
No, for sure. I don't think that this film is completely perfect. I think that there are some aspects that, like for me, I think I was mixed on. There is like, I've heard a lot of people, I want to talk about this because I've heard a lot of people bring it up, but like one of the things I've heard online is, who is the film targeted at? If it needs a target audience, because like I said, one of the things I like about it is you can kind of be anyone and sort of take a lot from it and enjoy it. But yeah, is this film aimed at mums and their teenage daughters? Is it aimed at little kids? Like I have like a 7-year-old niece who last time I saw, like literally a couple of weeks ago, this film was the only thing she could talk about. Wow. And even though I really enjoyed the film, I couldn't help but think, would she like fully? Yeah, she definitely wouldn't get it. No. It's not a film she would get for like another 9-10 years. Which I think is both a beautiful thing, but also like I don't know. Also the fact that I feel like there's like a lot of different social themes that this film is taking on board. Sometimes I just felt like some of it got lost in translation a little bit because there was so much kind of going on. There's the whole idea of like, you know, the patriarchy, men versus women. What's it like to be a woman in the modern world? What's it like to be a man in the modern world? Because it's juggling all these kind of things. I'm not sure if there was like a one sort of thing that really reigned true from any, not true, but reigned supreme. And like, I struggled with the film's identity at the end of the film Like I had like such a good time with it. Maybe I'm gonna see it again and feel differently. But at the same time, I do think it's a really difficult task for like someone like Greta Gerwig to sort of be able to balance all of those elements. Have it being a satire that is something that adults can enjoy, but also something that kids can sort of take away from as well. It's this comedy satire, but it's also trying to critique a lot of things, and to do all of that in once is like such a monumental thing, I feel. But like props to her, because I feel like there's like very few filmmakers who could kind of find that kind of sweet spot like she did. I think one of the other things that I wasn't I don't know, I was a bit mixed about was the fact that I feel like there wasn't really a sense of real consequence or risk with the characters. I feel like the film is able to get away with a lot of things just because of how it's written, and like how it's very tongue-in-cheek, it's very light-hearted, it's very meta, and it's able to break its own rules. Like, you know, no one really cares about how you get from Barbieland to the human world, so they have to come up with this, oh yeah, we have to swim across this sea.
I think that's a really good point, what you said about the rules.
Yeah, so like for the characters themselves, I never felt like they were in any sense of peril or like real sort of danger at any point. So like I feel like that aspect, it was quite hard for me to connect with like their arc at some points, like their journey as a character, because I didn't know what would happen if they didn't succeed in what they were going to do, or what they were trying to do. Do you understand?
Right. Yeah. I guess the characters' agencies and their kind of motives and intentions are just a bit murky in the film. And also just like, I think while exploring femininity, because maybe it's Greta Gerwig, but it kind of seems like it's explored in a cis heteronormative way in the perspective of a female filmmaker, where the bounds of intersectionality is not exactly explored that in depth. It felt very much like the characters were trying to uphold a certain standard of femininity in that sense, and whereas it kind of contrasts with Ken, where he's the only real one with that sort of agency. Like, he likes horses, he likes, I don't know, Sylvester Stallone? Is that how you spell his name?
Sylvester Stallone,
yeah. Stallion.
That's a good joke.
That's amazing.
That's a good one.
It very much felt like that were, for me, that's something that's kind of missing from the films. Like, I didn't realize what was kind of the missing piece until I like thought about it, and was like, oh, actually, you know, for example, people who used to play with dolls, who were kind of knowing since young that they were gay from the start, you know, and they were playing with dolls and stuff like that to help them grapple with that idea. I feel like that sort of aspect wasn't explored enough. But also, it's like a 1 hour, 50-minute film. I guess in that kind of time frame, you don't really have the time for that. But yeah. So that was kind of my only critique of the film, but other than that,
no,
it's a girlies film.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it touches on a lot of relevant things. Yeah, really interesting and really great things. And I was really surprised to see in this film, because I had no idea what to expect going. I was like, it's going to be satirical, but I didn't think it was going to be that satirical and that smart and that tongue in cheek.
On the nose.
Yeah. So yeah, I completely agree. This is what I was saying. I was like, it touches on a lot of those elements, but doesn't really delve into them like.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I think,
but I also think it gets held back because it is an IP and because it needs to be marketed to kids as well.
I think Greta Gerwig probably has a version of this script somewhere that is like a lot more deep and intense. But I think it was consciously dialed down to make it more, you know, accessible to everyone. I think what you're saying, I completely agree. But I think from a maybe sellability perspective, they probably want that. They like that it doesn't delve into only the struggles of womanhood or only of like what it means to be an idea. I think they want it to like touch upon everything, but they don't want to have it be exploring this theme in depth all the time. I think
it is a Barbie movie at the end.
I think
if you asked me like what the main theme is of the film we see, I would say it's like, I would love your perspective on it. I'd say it's like womanhood.
100%.
But I loved the theme they had in there of like what it means to like represent an idea and how an idea becomes reality. I think that was in there a lot, like with Barbieland being this like concept place, and then in the end, like Margot Robbie's final scene with like, I don't want to be an idea.
I want to be a person.
Like, I think that theme was to me more interesting, and maybe because it's even like more relatable to me personally as well. But I thought that was really, and I think they probably just wanted to keep it under 2 hours. You know what I mean?
You know, fair.
There's definitely, I get you completely, and I do agree that it's kind of, there's a lot of stuff all over the place. But I think this is also some of its best qualities, is that I thought about this, right? If you break down the rules of the world, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
like they break them all the time.
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense that, you know, like she is both in Barbieland, but then she's also an actual Barbie. That like it makes no, but it's also this. They know it makes no sense. They're like, we're just going with it, have fun. Like it's touching on these things.
But isn't that? Would you not argue that could be like lazy writing, for example, or is it just part of the DNA of the film? That's like, do you know what?
Me personally, I would say.
I'm not saying I believe that, by the way. I'm just saying.
I would say
it raises the question.
It can be interpreted as such, as lazy writing, but not for this. I think this is what they wanted to do. I see a film and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is exactly the film they wanted to make. So I guess they could have like polished it even more, but I think they didn't want to.
Yeah, but the fact that like literally it is such like an ambitious piece.
Yeah.
Like we said, for the 1,000th time, it's trying to do all these different things, but it still has a sense of cohesion to it, and it's a story that you can follow. At the core of it is like a win, right? It's there you go.
It's a win.
Yeah, exactly. I have seen like we did touch on this a couple of minutes ago, but I have seen a lot of people on the internet take issue with the idea that the real world in this film is like not the real world whatsoever. You know, men and women fighting against each other. It's that like maybe if we were in the 50s and 60s, this would be more applicable. Essentially, a lot of people taking issue with the fact that it's not an accurate depiction of what the real world is like. But I completely agree with you at the same time, because it's like all of these things are just heightened for comedic and satirical purposes.
I don't think they're saying this is our world. They're like, this is a world of patriarchy. And Barbieland is not. And it's like, it's supposed to be.
It works for the film. Yeah.
I think like, I'm just going to briefly touch upon it because I don't want us to get into it, or we can if you want to. But, like the whole backlash it's gotten, the backlash it's gotten, because it hasn't really gotten that much. It's just the stupidest thing in the world, because like it's like, I think people who go and see Barbie and they walk out of Barbie and, you know, they're like, that was so woke, I hated that. I'm like, you fucking saw Barbie directed by Greta Gerwig. Like what did you expect? Like this is the film. This is what it wants to say. It's a great message in my opinion. If you don't want to hear this message, go watch
exactly. Again, it's for the girlies. It's not for anyone else. If you're a girly, you will get it.
I'm not a girly.
Yes, you are. You're one of the girlies now. All of y'all.
By the way, you guys look fantastic. By the way,
you do too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
but
keeping with the pink theme, yes.
Yeah.
Completely. And I think that's like a great point to end on. Like, yeah, sure, it uses a lot of these stereotypes and societal tropes, but it's all heightened and for purposes of entertainment. And it's funny.
It's like, how can you be mad at a film that like you know what you're getting yourself into, you know what I mean? And it's not even, it all makes sense. I think it's not like it doesn't feel like a film that it's, I think a great comparison to me is like Sex Education, because hear me out. Sex Education is a show, and its whole identity is that it's about these issues and about these themes. So when you watch it, you're like, this is what I'm watching. I enjoy it. This is the show. It's the same with Barbie. It's like a film about a Barbie. So you can't be like, can't go, it's too old, because it's not. It's like, it's what the piece of me is.
It's a metaphor, I guess.
Yeah, and like Barbieland, it's a fantasy. Like there are fantastical elements to it. So you need to take that into consideration when thinking whether or not, you know, it's trying to be an accurate depiction of the real world. But yeah, one final question I want to ask you guys. Barbie 2, yay or nay?
Oh, fuck yeah.
No?
Yes.
I see.
No.
No.
But I don't like because I don't...
It will eventually happen.
It will happen.
100%.
1,000%. I don't like it when... it's great. So keep it great. You know, like Barbie 2, maybe it will be great too. But what if it's not? Then it leaves a sour taste. Just keep it.
What
great.
about Ken? Ken the movie?
No, I think the only way to pull off Barbie 2 is to do it with a completely different Barbie and Ken and completely different story. I think I'm really against a Barbie 2 with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. I think that story is done. Leave it be done. But a Barbie 2 in like the Barbie world with a different story, I could get that. But I don't know. I'm just generally, I'm not a fan of sequels because I think if it's great, keep it great. Like wrap it up, leave a nice little filmography of that. But I might be wrong because I said that about Joker and I can't wait for Joker 2 because they put like that little twist on it.
If it does something different.
I think Joker 2 is a great example of it. Like it's an unnecessary sequel, yes, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's a musical. I know they're going to do something fun with it. So Barbie 2.
As a brand.
If it reinvents itself.
Yeah, it could be, but I think it also takes away from the first one always. It becomes a franchise. It becomes a whole thing. And I love it. I just want it to be Barbie. That's the film.
Wait, they need to make a 12 Dancing Princesses, but like... like it's already Barbie, but they have to make a live action of the 12 Dancing Princesses, Princess and the Pauper, Diamond Castle, and Magic of the Pegasus. And also the Fairytopia franchise. Fairytopia, Mermaidia, Mariposa.
What was your favorite Barbie when you were a kid?
That's so hard. Like Barbie film?
No,
Barbie
version, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I only had the blonde hair.
Stereotypical Barbie.
Yeah, stereotypical Barbie. Isn't that what everyone had?
I don't know.
Yeah, man. You should see my collection. It's crazy. Well, guys, I think on that note of collecting Barbie dolls, I think we will wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for coming and chatting.
Thank you for having us.
No, of course. Coming and chatting about Barbie, which is a statement I thought I would never say, but here we are. And it's been so much fun. Wearing pink.
And don't forget, Dylan's going to do that dance if you get 100 likes.
100 likes?
Yeah.
Am I that cheap? Yes, I am. But yeah, thank you so much for coming and chatting Barbie, guys. It's been great to have you on. And welcome, Jazelle. First ever episode.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah.
Wait, we were really low on the
Yeah, we need to do another soundbite.
Can you record it and then Dylan will cut them?
I'll just put it in the edit.
Yes. Ready? Yes.
Nailed it. That is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, listening, and we will catch you very soon in the next episode of the Popcorn Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers, Boots.
That was the
Oh.
Quickly.
Yes.